On this week's edition of The Overtime, we will take a look at the Flagstaff and Coconino volleyball crosstown rivalry match. Next, we will get to know Flagstaff High School quarterback Chase Brown. And lastly, the family that's taking over NPA girls soccer. All that and more on this edition of The Overtime. Welcome back to The Overtime. My name is Lena Zaubzer and joining me is tonight's sports reporter Tyler Murphy. Tyler, are you ready for the weekly dose of sports?
I can't think of anything better than talking about sports for 15 minutes. Let's not waste any more time, Lena.
Then let's get right into it. First up tonight are the Flagstaff Eagles and the Coconino Panthers volleyball teams. They ended their regular season last Thursday playing against each other at Coconino High School. I attended the match and had the chance to talk to some of the players and coaches. Take a look. Ending the regular season with a bang, the Flagstaff town rivals met for their last volleyball match. In a tight fourth set, the Panthers and the Eagles did not give away a point easily, but the Flagstaff High School team secured the win with 3-1 sets, to the delight of hundreds of students and head coach Beth Hagelin.
Oh, it's sweet. It's always sweet. I mean, when you have the crowd that we did, the entire bottom section was all students, their side and our side. What an outstanding event to have that many kids involved in it. And yes, it's sweet to win over here.
Flagstaff player Brooklyn J transferred this season from Coco to Flag High. She says being back was not a big deal, also because of her new team.
I really enjoyed playing with them. They were really welcoming when I first transferred, and we all work well together. They're all very nice, and we can all come together as a group when we need to. And we just bonded really well, and we trust each other.
The Panthers put on a good fight, winning the second set and getting ahead of the Eagles several times. They came back strong in the fourth set, challenging the town rival with the hope to force them into a fifth set, head coach Serena Wallace said.
We just refocused on our plan, talked about how we've done it. We won a set, and so we know that we can. We know it's possible. Just have to believe it, be confident, talk to each other, work hard.
The Eagles head into the postseason next and want to win the championship. That would also mean a new tattoo for head coach Beth Hagelin, who already has the season motto for the championships 2012 and 2013 under her skin.
I would love to get another tattoo and say 2022. Lots of twos on my arm, so SMSP.
Lena Zaubzer. Staying with the Eagles volleyball team, on Tuesday they won their championship play-in game. The Eagles beat the Seton Catholic Prep Sentinels in 3 straight sets. The Flagstaff team had to fight hard for the first set and flatten their opponent in their second. The Sentinels put in a lot of effort to take the third set away from the Eagles, but losing it in the end 27-25. At the time of filming, the Eagles are now competing against the number 7 seed, the Thunderbirds.
Moving on the other side of Flagstaff, the Coconino Panthers football team is sitting at a 3-5 and 1-2 in region play. The Panthers' lead running back, Cooper French, has 845 yards on the season, heading into one more game at the time of recording. The Panthers have yet to play the Prescott Badgers, who beat the Flagstaff Eagles 58-14. Transitioning over to the Eagles, who are 2-6 on the season and 0-3 in region play. Chase Brown, freshman quarterback, has been leading the Eagles out and has a total of 18 passing touchdowns, which is 5 off of tying the school record, which wouldn't also be the only record Brown would have broken this year. I was able to catch up with the freshman quarterback about his season and his record. Take a look. Since 2020, it seemed like we've seen it all, but then the Flagstaff Eagles freshman quarterback, Chase Brown, took down a 38-year-old school record in his first start. With Brown's early success on the gridiron, there has been a learning curve involved with adjusting to playing under the lights.
The atmosphere is a lot different. It's super fun being in that atmosphere, the student section, the band. It's just great to play under the lights, especially in the dome.
With the new atmosphere arises a new set of challenges, and Brown has had to acclimate himself into getting down the speed of varsity football.
Definitely the speed of the game. Everything moves a lot faster, so you got to always be prepared. You mess up, you got to be ready for the next snap. you don't really have time to dwell on anything.
There was no real learning curve as Brown in his first start broke his school's record for most passing touchdowns in a single game with 6 and got the Eagles out of a losing streak that started last season. Brown was quick to give credit to his team for his early success in his short career.
All the wide receivers, they helped me out a ton. Our whole starting line, couldn't do anything without them, so they've taught me a lot. It's just been great.
Darren Brown, dad, Eagles alumni, and the offensive and defensive lineman coach praised his son's performance.
I'm super proud of him. He went out and performed like he's capable, and his team backed him up, and it's awesome.
With region play starting for the Eagles, instead of chasing school records, Brown has only one goal at the center of his mind for the season.
That's basically my main goal right now, is helping the team make playoffs.
Tyler Murphy, NAZ Today.
Stick around after the break to get to know the backbone of NPA girls soccer.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Welcome back to the overtime. Typically, it's a lot of fun to do sports together with your family, but most would draw the line at their parents being their coach. But for the Blair family, this is the perfect combination. Sports reporter Ava Nichols met the successful family trio of NPA girls soccer.
Northland Preparatory Academy won their 5th title in 6 seasons on Saturday, beating Chino Valley 2-0. The team's success is truly a family affair. Current head coach Michael Blair is now coaching his 4th and 5th daughters on NPA's team.
Every state championship that we've won, I've had a daughter crazy enough that was a captain.
Junior Campbell Blair is NPA's current captain. Scoring 2 goals in the semifinals and assisting both goals in the state championship, Campbell is a true leader. Following closely behind her is her younger sister Bethany Blair, a current freshman.
She also stepped up, knowing that when you're a captain and leader, you have to do it on the field too. You can't just be talk. And then Bethany, as a freshman, to step up, and again, we didn't expect to know if she was going to be playing or not playing JV, and she ended up being our starting attacking midfielder, which surprised both Coach Keith and I, and it was credit to her for being able to step up as a freshman and do that.
Bethany said she hopes to win 4 state titles and attributes her success to her dad and Campbell.
I think it was really helpful for me because she really motivated me to do better and to always do my best. And then similarly with my dad, he's always pushing us to do our best on and off the field.
Campbell said she was on the soccer field following her dad and older sisters as young as 3 years old. She was determined to add another title to the family legacy this year.
Just coming from a big family, soccer was our thing, and then being able to grow into it and following after their footsteps, which they're big footsteps to fill. But honestly, gaining the confidence that I can fill those footsteps was probably the hardest part. But now that I'm here, I kind of have that confidence now.
11 titles collectively for the Blair girls is just not enough. The legacy will continue as the youngest Blair daughter is due in just 2 years, following in the footsteps of her 5 older sisters.
We have one more daughter, Emery, coming up. She's in 7th grade, so her group that I coach is pretty good, so it's going to be pretty fun to watch them coming up through. They're kids that work hard, and they're really good players and really good students.
Ava Nichols, NAZ Today.
Switching to college sports, going the distance is the NAU men's and women's cross-country team, with both teams bringing home the first-place trophy this past weekend at the Big Sky Championship. To go even further, the men's team beat second-place Montana State by 22 points and had 7 of the top 10 finishers. The women's team scored 22 points and beat second-place Idaho by 47 points, bringing home their 24th Big Sky title. A total show of dominance with the women's sophomore runner, Elise Stearns, finishing first for the women's, and for the men, it was Nico Young at the top of the podium with a time of 22 minutes and 31.5 seconds and beating teammate and also second-place finisher Drew Bosley by 25 seconds. Colin Salmon was also named Freshman of the Year after placing 7th at a time of 23 minutes and 35.5 seconds. The Lumberjacks will travel next week, November 11th, to the NCAA Mountain Regionals in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We will be right back after the break for a look into your weekend sports in Northern Arizona. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back to The Overtime. I'm your PV reporter, Divine Wallace, here to catch you up on what's coming up this week in Northern Arizona sports. Starting us off tonight, high school football is starting to wrap up with only 2 games left in their regular season. Attempting to get their first section win, the 0-3 Flagstaff Eagles are home for the last time this season in the Walkup Skydome against the Brashaw Mountain Bears that have an opposite record of 3-0 Friday at 7 p.m. Speaking of the Bears, Coconino High School fell to them last Friday 27-14. The Panthers are 1-2 on their season and are looking to secure their second region win this Friday at Cromer Stadium against the Prescott High School Badgers. Switching over to college football, after beating Idaho State 24-10, the Lumberjacks had a bye week but are back in action this Saturday and will host the Montana State Bobcats for their homecoming game at 1 p.m. at Finley Toyota Field. Pack the dome and get excited and have a great time that day. NAU soccer is away this week in Greeley, Colorado at the Big Sky Conference Tournament. Heading into the tournament as Big Sky regular season champions, the Lumberjacks have the #1 seed and at the time of recording have yet to play their first game against Weber State after they won in an overtime shootout against Sacramento State Wednesday. You can follow all your Lumberjack games this weekend on ESPN Plus as well. Well, that's all I have for you this weekend for Northern Arizona sports. Back to you at the desk, Lena and Tyler.
Thanks, Divine, and thank you all for joining us for this edition of The Overtime. I would also like to thank our sports reporters, Tyler Murphy and Ava Nichols. I'm Lena Zaubzer, and we'll see you right here next Friday at 6:15 with The Overtime. Have a good night.